Hi, I'm Doug Betts. Welcome to my new YouTube channel, Live Windows Training. This is where I help people over the internet and provide remote phone support or remote control support, video chat, assistance with their computers for almost free. If you'd like to request a session with me, go to the website LiveWindowsTraining.com to find out how to do that. In this video, I want to address the issue of cleaning keyboards and mice. In these days, and what I mean by these days is that today is April 7th, 2020. So a big concern these days has to do with the coronavirus and cleaning and disinfecting. So I want to address that subject a little bit. I have some cleaning products set out here and a couple of keyboards that are in desperate need of cleaning, and that is caused me to realize that, hey, this would make a good video. Now, before addressing this, I want to point out something about cleaning in regards to the coronavirus. And to do that, I'm going to go over to this Google search. And I actually only came across this as I was preparing for this video. What I did is a Google search for coronavirus cleaners. And the first couple of hits are from the CDC. So that's great. When I went to look at that, they've got some great information here about cleaning and disinfecting. It's not the information I'm going to cover in this video, but I do want to point out that they distinguish between cleaning and disinfecting, that cleaning removes germs and disinfecting, it kills the germs. So disinfecting, it tells us here that it doesn't necessarily clean the surfaces or remove the germs, but it just kills them. And by the same reasoning, cleaning doesn't necessarily does remove germs, but does not kill germs. So they make that distinction, and the point has been made many times that of the amount of virus that you're exposed to has a big impact on how likely you are to become sick or how sick you'll become. Now, that's not what I'm addressing. That's not my area. I'm not a medical person or a chemical expert, but my area is computers. So I want to talk to you a little bit about cleaning keyboard and mice. I think it makes sense that people are a little hesitant or worried about proper procedure. And it's not that big a deal. You just need to understand a couple of points and then use some common sense. And common sense is only common after you've thought through the subject. If you just dive in there and say, okay, well, using Lysol on a keyboard, that's going to disinfect the keyboard and I can just do it. Well, there's some precautions that you need to take, and that's what I want to address here. You know what? I need to check and be sure this focus is okay. Yeah, I'm gonna switch the focus of that camera because I typically have autofocus turned off or disabled so that it doesn't just keep refocusing as we're working with it. So here we'll let it get focused and then remove the focus option. Is that going to do it well enough? Let's see. Okay, it's focused for a long ways away. Then if I put this up, Yeah, it's not changing very much, is it? Okay, can I do this way? Yeah, that's changing back and forth. So I think that'll work. Now, this keyboard, it's a little grungy. Now, if you look at the tab key over here, you can see kind of that little dark semicircle around the right side of the key. Well, I've got quite a lot of that on this keyboard. And they're over there on the enter key. You can see that on the left side of the enter key. And there's quite a fair amount of grunge on this keyboard. And this isn't really going to be about how to effectively clean, because it's not that hard. If you use any kind of a cloth, you can clean pretty easily, really. So this is a wireless keyboard. What I'm going to do is take the battery out. Now, if your wireless keyboard has an on and off switch, you might be tempted to just turn it off. That's not good enough, because electric components these days have other, the on and off switch actually has an electrical signal going to the on and off switch, and perhaps still powers some other things in the device. So it's best to actually take the battery out. Now, the equipment that I have here to clean with, some of this might seem strange to you. I've got a wine glass. And what I wanted to point out with the wine glass is, if you've had occasion to wash a wine glass and then dry it, you might find that some towels that you use for drying a wine glass, you can see some fuzzies that it leaves. We don't want to use that kind of a cloth. A dishcloth is far less likely to leave fuzzies on a glass. And I find that even the Kleenex hand towels do a pretty good job of cleaning without leaving fuzzies. So that's all that the wine glass is here for, is to discuss that point. You might be tempted to use some kind of an electronics cleaner. That's really not necessary for a keyboard. This is a WD-40 electrical contact cleaner spray. And I'll use that on the electrical components inside of a computer. More commonly, what I use this for is for cleaning the contacts on a battery compartment. For instance, if a battery has leaked in the compartment, or if a battery is just not making good contact, then I'll use that cleaner for that. But that wouldn't be needed or appropriate for the keyboard. Now, some kind of a spray that has antibacterial capabilities, well, that's probably a decent idea. I have not yet found a confirmation that antibacterial actually kills viruses. We know that bacteria and viruses are two different animals. But I suspect that is a good thing to do. We've been told a lot about using alcohol for the virus. So an alcohol solution would be okay too. I'm mainly just pointing out here the cleaning aspect. This would be okay, and one thing I wanted to point out here is this kind of a cleaner, this kind of a liquid or moisture, does not have to be cleaned off of the surface. It doesn't leave a residue of sorts, as compared to something like a Pledge cleaner. It leaves kind of a wax sheen on furniture. That's what it's intended to do. So we'd rather use some kind of a cleaner that doesn't leave a residue on the surface. Now, I have sometimes just used water, just moisten perhaps a microfiber cloth, or in this case, the Kleenex hand towel with water. It's surprising how much that will clean the plastic keys of a keyboard. So what I'm going to do with this is use the Lysol, and I'm just going to spray some on on the towel. And I moved back a little bit so I wasn't doing that right over the keyboard. What we want to do is be sure that it's not dripping, because the key thing that we want with keyboards and mice is to not drip liquid between the keys. We want to avoid getting liquid in there. Now, since I've taken the battery out, with wired keyboard, just unplug it from the computer, and you can be pretty firm and aggressive with cleaning. There's some instances in some keyboards or some techniques where you might actually pull a key off, and that can be difficult because keys are difficult to put back on. The mechanisms that they use to hold the key on the keyboard are really tiny and difficult to deal with. Now, this has worked pretty well for the surface of the keys. I'm not going to spend long enough on this on a video. You can see how dirty my towel is. I'm not going to spend enough time on this during the video to clean it completely, but that's just the surface of the keys. So to get the edges of the keys, you can run down vertically between the keys. And it's going to take a little time to accomplish it, but it's amazing what a little bit of elbow grease will do with cleaning the keys. And as long as you're not dripping moisture into the keyboard or the mouse, then you're going to be good. Now, I haven't taken the battery out of this mouse yet. So then once the battery's out, and that cleans up really nice. It doesn't take much moisture on whatever cloth that you're using, and you can do a really nice job of cleaning up your equipment. So I think that'll do it for this video. Thanks for watching. I hope this has been useful to you. I'll catch you another time. If you'd like to request a support session with me, that's what this YouTube channel is about. Go to LiveWindowsTraining.com and you can find out there how to request a session. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. Goodbye.